Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast, a podcast about business, employment, sports, and entertainment to help educate, support, and guide you to your next level. Here's your host, attorney Sivonnia DeBarros.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast. I am Sivonnia DeBarros, the protector of athletes, also the founder and principal attorney of the S.L. DeBarros Law Firm, where we represent athletes, entrepreneurs, and business owners. Guys, look, I'm super excited about the topic today. It literally just came to me and I don't know, like we're going to get into it. We're going to really get into it. I'm just super excited and I'm happy that you are joining me, whether you're watching this live or listening to this wherever you are. Definitely come in, share this information with your viewers. If this is someone that you think can benefit from today's broadcast, definitely share. So look, guys, before we dive into the content, I want to remind you that a new course is launching March 21st of this year. I'm super excited about it. The new Athletes Making Moves course. We are definitely going to be making a major impact with this course. So who is it for? This course is for high achieving, legacy building, and asset creation individuals who know that early investment and implementation of their legal rights are paramount to future gains, such as business, asset, and legacy protection. So this program is going to provide you with guidance on solving identity issues that are holding you back by helping you to rebuild your identity, reshape your mindset for success, and also provide you with substantive lessons on creating and protecting your business assets and legacy that you desire. So if this fits you, if you are this person, I want you to go ahead to the Athletes Making Moves site. So you can see this link at the bottom of my screen. If you're watching this, if you're listening, go to bit.ly/AMM course. That's bit.ly/AMM course. We are starting and launching March 21st of this year. And another thing I'm super excited about with this is I get an opportunity to give back in honor of my late grandmother, Glovine Smith. So we will be donating a portion of the proceeds to the Alzheimer's Association in her honor. And that day is significant because it's also her birthday. So yeah, if you fit the profile of the person or the individual that we're seeking to make impact on, definitely go ahead and register for that. Okay. And then later I will share with you guys more ways that you can work with me. All right. So today's title for this broadcast is Recalibrate. Okay. So when I was thinking about this last night, as a matter of fact, it kind of brought me back a little bit to the Netflix film of Colin Kaepernick. It made me think about pivoting and how people talk about pivoting around their business, their goals. And so I don't know. It's like one of those things when you start to think about it so deeply, it sinks deep into, I kind of want to say your soul in a way. So I'm thinking about recalibrate. I got to recalibrate. So I went and looked this up in Webster's definition. And guys, when I tell you, if you know me, if you've been listening to me, following me, you know I think on a very deep level. I'm not a surface level thinker. I think very deep about certain issues. Okay. And in fact, somebody in the business community said that they believe that's my superpower, and it might be, but I think very deeply about certain things. And so when I looked this up and saw the definition, I'm gonna read it to you guys because Webster defines recalibrate as, or the transitive verb to calibrate. Okay. So for instance, these systems gradually drift off course so that the navigator periodically needs a fresh point of reference to recalibrate the navigation system. So when I thought about this, I'm like, okay, if we think about recalibrate in the sense of a vehicle, right? A car has to go in to be tuned up so that it can perform effectively, so that it can get you from point A to point Z. effectively and safely, right? You want to make sure that your car is fully operative to meet the goals that you have in mind. So when you get up every day and you know, okay, either I have to go and report to this job or I have to go and file whatever document this is, you are trusting that your vehicle has been calibrated to the extent that it will do the job that you know it can do, right? So now take that idea of calibration or recalibration from the point of a vehicle and apply it to yourself. Apply it to yourself, right? There are many times in our lives where we need to recalibrate who we are, where we are, what our goals are, what our intentions are. We have to recalibrate, because I can tell you that, and you know what? I'm gonna just speak about me. Okay. A lot of people may see me or think that I have this glamorous life. I wish I did. One day I will. They may think I have this super glamorous life, that things are just easy peasy. Okay. They may not think that I have to constantly recalibrate the way that I operate, but I do. And I think sometimes almost daily I'm recalibrating. And so I want to share this with you, because a lot of people get stuck in a particular mindset, like a cycle of negative ideals or negative beliefs about their ability to do or can't do something. And it keeps them stuck into a place where they're unable to move. Like, think about the word fear, for instance, right? If you are afraid of something, the common consensus around being afraid of it means that you are not going to approach or do whatever, or engage in whatever that may be, because your fear is so overwhelming that it keeps you from being able to move, right? It stagnates you into a place where you say, I'm not going to do this because I am afraid. What if we can recalibrate that? Not necessarily saying that fear isn't going to happen, because let me just be honest, it is going to happen. And at every level that you ascend to, there is going to be some level of fear, right? There's going to be some level of anxiety where you may question whether you have the ability to do something. It's life. It is what it is. And if you really care about what it is that you're doing, you're probably always going to be questioning yourself as your inner critic on whether you can actually level up to whatever that situation may be. But what if we were able to recalibrate that? What if we were able to take that anxious thinking or that scared thinking and to reposition that in a way that will help us to really recognize and achieve the things that we want in our lives? I mean, part of the definition that I read to you from Webster, Webster said that, okay, if the systems gradually drift off course, what happened to you that made you drift off course? Like, have you taken a minor drift off course, or are you stuck literally into whatever that drift is? Right? Are you stuck literally into that drift? Like, sometimes, depending on what the case may be, in law, we kind of call this detour or frolic. Detour is just a simple detour. Frolic is like you just went on and did something completely different. So are you on a small detour, or are you on a frolic? Right? Like, really, really think about that and figure out, how can I recalibrate? And I'm going to give you some things to think about in terms of recalibrating, because so many times people think about, I think you probably have thought of this issue, but more so in the sense of pivoting. So business owners, athletes, entrepreneurs, folks who are like corporate heroes, but one foot in the entrepreneur world, they always think about pivoting, right? But the pivot is more so around the idea of, I need to pivot my business so I can make X amount of dollars. Well, most folks don't think about, if I don't pivot the way that I think about issues, how will I be able to garner the success that I desire for myself? And part of that issue is recalibrating, making sure that the systems that are supposed to help you to get to your destination are properly functioning, meaning you, your body, your spirit, your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, like everything everything about you, right? If you think about yourself as a system, and I'm not going to go into like medical terminology because that is not my deal. But if you think about yourself as the system, right? The vehicle to move you from one place to another, what needs to be realigned? What needs to be realigned to help you realize the success that you want for yourself? I want to show you guys something, because as I was looking for this or looking up information about recalibration and trying to determine like how do other people define this issue, I ran across some amazing information that I said, you know, folks really need to understand that it's more than you telling yourself one time, okay, I'm going to try and figure out how I can make this work, versus making it a constant habit, Let me give you an example about myself, because I recognized that for all intents and purposes, I'm a millionaire. Now, do I have millions in my bank account right now? No, it's playing catch up. But I know mentally, spiritually, I am a millionaire. So what do I have to do to recalibrate myself, the way that I operate, to make that a realization? What do I have to do to make that a realization? So one thing I started doing was getting back to the things that I love, like working out. And the way I can work out is making sure that I get up early. The way that I can be more productive during the day is getting up early. Am I a morning person? Absolutely not. Hate getting up as early as I do. But a lot of things that we complain about, including the lack that we have in our lives, we have the control to change it. We have the power to recalibrate what we do on a daily basis, so that we can become or get further down the line to achieving the things that we want, right? We have to recalibrate. Period, point blank. I mean, there's no other way I can explain it. You know, you have to recalibrate. One way you can recalibrate it is to make sure that you turn your negative thinking into something positive. I had a conversation with a business owner probably a week ago now. One of the things we discussed about was fear and negative thinking. And we talked about how the negative thinking or the fear kept this individual from being able to make decisions or move forward in their lives. I mean, to have simple conversations. And I'm not picking on this person. I really, truly care about them. But it gives me pause. It's troubling, because if we are not policing our negative thinking, we will constantly self-sabotage the abilities that we have to receive and enjoy the success that we know we can have, that we can make for ourselves. So I was looking at these statistics, and the National Science Foundation had a study that said 80% of our thoughts are negative. 80% of our thoughts are negative. 95% of them are repetitive. 95% of our thoughts are repetitive. Think about that. If we have 80% negative thoughts, we only have 10% positive thoughts throughout the day. And if 95% are repetitive, if we multiply the 80% of negative thoughts and we double that up, I mean, it's astronomical. How can you achieve anything if you're constantly telling yourself that you don't have the ability to do something? How can you achieve anything if you don't feel like you're worthy of doing something or receiving something? How can you accomplish anything if you constantly feel like you have to apologize for other people's shortcomings and not stand in your own power? sis, bro, you got to recalibrate. You got to recalibrate. You have to recalibrate that thinking. And so a way that you can do that is, as soon as you feel a negative thought coming on around whether you can do something or not, whether you feel like you're worthy or not, you know what you do? You have to start learning how to cut that off at the root. You have to cut it off at the root. As soon as I start to think about something negative, no, Sivonnia, absolutely not. No. Let's turn that thinking around. Here's an example. I don't know if I can actually meet with this client. Here's the way that we recalibrate that. Take your breathers, do whatever you need to do that helps you to get grounded. And then say, I know I can meet with that client because I have this degree. I've been educated in this. I have performed other jobs that have or encompass these particular skills. I know I can meet with this person. Oh, well, I have an event where I have to speak. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do it. Here's what recalibration looks like. Yes, you can do it. You can do it, and you're going to do it. You're going to do it. And guess what? The audience is going to cheer me on. The audience is going to be empowered. The audience is going to know that they can implement the tools and the skills that I talk about at this speech to put this in their own daily lives, to implement in their own daily lives. Like you have to literally encourage yourself. That's part of what recalibration looks like. You have to encourage yourself. So you have to cut it off at the root. One thing I explained to the business owner about negative thinking and being fearful of situations is that our negative thoughts or our negative beliefs are similar to weeds that are growing outside, right? So if you have a garden or just even your lawn, if you don't tend to your lawn, weeds will start to grow up. So weeds are naturally a part of the greenery outside. Okay? It's naturally a part of the greenery. And so if you don't want these big weeds growing up, that means you have to go mow your lawn, make sure you spray some of the weed killers to pull those things up, to make sure that they're dead at the first sight of inspection. Here's what negative thinking does to you. It acts as a weed in the way that it grows up so strong, so tall that when you try to come back to rip that weed out, you can't even get the full thing out because it's rooted. It's rooted so strongly. And if you think about what a root looks like, there are multiple, streams of little smaller roots that are growing off of that one stem, that stronger root. Okay. And so the way that you have to recalibrate that, if we're talking in the sense of, these weeds, is if you don't want that root to get strong like that, you have to automatically turn your thinking around, shift your mindset around certain issues so that you can begin to pull those roots out immediately as you see them start to sprout. And what that will do is it will build your confidence. Okay. It will build your confidence. It will put you in a better mindset to deal with adversity and issues so that you don't fall off drift, so that you can make sure that you continue on your destination to the success that you want and desire for yourself, and ultimately the legacy that you want to leave. Right. But if you allow those negative thinking that technically is repetitive 95% of the day, if you allow that negative thinking to become a repetitive situation in your life, you will be dealing with a root that is so tall, like a stalk, almost like a tree, that even if you pull it out, it'll still be grounded. It'll still be planted with hundreds of other smaller roots attached to it, which means that now you're going to have to do more digging into that ground to make sure you can pull that stuff out, that you can clean it out. And what that looks like, maybe you need to talk to someone. Maybe you need professional support. Maybe you need to talk to your pastor, your priest, to help you to recalibrate. And don't be afraid to recognize when you need help. Sometimes we cannot do things on our own. But if we sit into a situation of this pridefulness, thinking that we can overcome by ourselves, when in fact we cannot, you will not have the ability to recalibrate. So I want you to remember what I said. Recalibration is like you're drifting off course. You have to reset your navigation system. Your navigation system is your mind, your beliefs, your heart, like what you truly believe about yourself in your heart of hearts, in your heart of hearts. You know, there's this Russian doll thing. You know how they have multiple little dolls that sit inside one after the other. If you think about that being your heart, right? Once you get to the very small, tiny one, what is it that you truly desire and believe deep down inside of you? And then I want you to think about, why have I not been able to accomplish this thing that I've been wanting to do for X amount of years? Have you drifted off course? Like I said before, have you taken a detour, like a simple detour that, okay, maybe I need to do X, Y, and Z first? Or have you completely gone on a frolic? Means that you have just abandoned the entire mission. You've abandoned it so much that recalibrating to you looks like, I don't know, it feels impossible. I really want you guys to think about that, because much of the success that we want for ourselves, that success, that power lies within us. We have the key to unlock that. We have the key to unlock it. And part of that, going back to what I said to you a minute ago, once I realized that I am a millionaire, I started changing things about how I operate. No more excuses for me not having enough time in a day. Yeah, I'm working from home with my son. So for me to be fully productive and get, major things accomplished, I got to get up before everybody else does. That's what millionaires do. Okay. I take time and read to make sure that I am gaining additional knowledge and education about things that I want to do, that inspire me, that motivate me, right? Around substantive issues that I want to learn about so that I can, better serve those that I want to serve. I had to recalibrate, and I constantly recalibrate because my life depends on it. The success that I want for myself and my family depends on recalibration. And the legacy that I want to live depends on recalibration. So we're in 2022. It's time to recalibrate. Make sure you take a deep look at yourself. Take a deep look at your thoughts. Make sure that you are not repeating your negative thoughts throughout the day that is keeping you stuck and stagnant and unable to move forward with or for the life that you desire for yourself. If you want to work with me, guys, I definitely want to invite you to join the inaugural class of the Athletes Making Moves course. Launching this year will be our first class, March 21st of 2022. You can check that out at bit.ly/AMM course. If you're watching this, you can see this at the bottom of my screen. Go ahead and check that out. If you want to work with me personally for the purposes of strengthening your business assets and protections, make sure you go ahead and hit me up at sldebarros.com. sldebarros.com. Until next time, guys, I will check you later. Peace.
You Sporting About podcast. Make sure to visit our website, prosportlawyer.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever your favorite platform is, so you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or iHeartRadio. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, What Are You Sporting About? Attorney Sivonnia DeBarros is available for private consulting at sldebarros.com. And remember, we're here to educate, support, and guide you in your journey to success, because we're all sporting about something.